Hello there, dear friends. Thank you so much for joining me again in this mini studies of 1 Corinthians. This time we're going to talk about 1 Corinthians chapter 1, and we're almost towards the end of the chapter. So I will name this 1 Corinthians chapter 1, part C, if you may. And towards the end of this chapter, Paul is talking about the wisdom of God. And he says, if you think that you are wise according to this world's standards, God will shame you. But then Paul continues to say that the foolishness of God is wiser than what most people would think, and that the weakness of God is stronger than most of us would ever imagine, because some may look at Jesus at the cross and say, that's weak. We were waiting for a mighty king, a noble king who will come and save us. But look at him now. They're stabbing him at the cross. Like, what kind of noble king is this? And so in their rebellious, in their mocking, they're saying, this is foolishness. We don't want a king who dies at the cross. Look at him. How weak is he? But Paul is saying, the weakness of God, that weakness you see that you think is weakness at the cross, that's stronger than any of us could ever ever at all. How many of you know anyone who will die on the cross for us? We think we're stronger and we say, oh, I love you so much, I will die for you. But when the time comes and your friends or your family members are put to the test, they're not strong enough to withstand that test. So Paul here is reminding us about our purpose, about our view of the calling of God. When we see Christ at the cross, we should see that as wisdom, that as wise, and not shame the gospel because of how the King came to us. And Paul is reminding us that because we are in Christ Jesus, we can be able to proclaim the gospel, even though it will seem foolish to other people, but we know that it has the power to save others. And no matter how foolish we may seem to the world, we should continue and run this race until it's finished. And I personally see this as a call to continue to proclaim the gospel, even though some may think, wow, she's so young, she doesn't even know anything, she's lacking in knowledge and wisdom. What could she have that we could learn from? And sometimes those thoughts could bring me down, but I choose to be courageous, just as Chloe's people, and speak the truth, no matter how dire it might seem, or no matter how much mocking or words that cast me down that I might get. I should continue to proclaim the gospel, even though I know in my mind that most of you viewing are probably older than me. Paul here is saying, continue proclaiming this gospel. You might seem foolish to them. They might think you are foolish because of your age, but my hope for you, my urge for you is to know that no matter how old you are or no matter how young you are, the gospel can be able to speak powerfully for itself. You do not have to worry about how you look like, whether you're tall or short. God can still use you to shame those foolish people who look at the word and the gospel of the cross and mock it. Because I am in Christ, I can boast in Him. Paul finishes this section of this letter saying, boast only in Christ alone, because by yourself you truly are nothing. So whether you're male or female, again, tall or short, young or old, boast in Jesus Christ alone, because He alone can be able to sanctify and redeem you and set you apart for His kingdom. So, dear friends, don't start arguing with your brothers and sisters because of whatever political party they follow or which celebrities they like most than you. follow Jesus Christ, because he has made you a saint. And because you're a saint, none of all the quarreling or arguing should be found among your midst. Follow Jesus Christ, because he alone can be able to sanctify you and redeem you and sustain or keep you until he comes back for you. Okay? Thank you so much, dear friends. Go ahead and subscribe and comment or like this video, and chapter 2 will be coming up as soon as possible. Thank you.